Okay, so I was in the Montgomery County Jail, being charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I was being charged with child negligence, child endangerment, and they were charging me with dispersing a weapon in a public place. So I ended up getting these charges after I shot my child father in the leg while he was attacking my 22-month-old son in the place where I went to ask the restaurant owner to dial 911. So he had been attacking me in my home, in the streets, and in this restaurant where we went for help. He attacked me and my son. So there was a witness involved in the struggle. The police, where he tried to stop my child father from attacking my son. He couldn't get him to calm down. I couldn't get him to calm down, and he got shot. So the police decided that they wanted to lie on the police report and say that my child father never attacked me. They never mentioned the part about him attacking my son. And they lied about him attacking me in my home and in the streets as well. There was witnesses who called 911 on him, and I called 911 repeatedly over the 8-week period that he had been released from prison, notifying the police that my child father was attacking me. So they decided to just lie about everything and then take me in this jail cell and try to murder me, and I'm pregnant. So I was screaming. They put me in the tanks with these racist white girls, and the white girls was in there trying to fight me and stuff like that. So they ended up moving me to a segregated housing unit in the back of the Montgomery County Jail. Now, everything was a setup. Putting me in the tanks with the racist white girls was a setup. It was all a setup. So when they put me in the back of the segregated housing unit, I had one of my very first visions, because I ended up having like thousands of visions while the United States was back there trying to murder me, poisoning me and stuff. So one of the first visions that I had the first vision that I had was of God's coming to me, showing me I was not guilty of the charges. So that was like the first vision that I had. I was screaming to God. I was screaming, all these white women did this to me, abused me. He was hurting me and my baby. How you scream. I was screaming to God, like, very high. And the Lord had come to me and was like, not guilty. He showed me the courtroom. He showed me the verdicts. He showed me that everybody already knew the evidence to my case. He showed it all to me. And he showed me the very first night. Okay, this is the vision that I had. I'm going to just tell you guys how it was. So I was in this jail cell, and I guess I had seen a lot, and I was angry. I was like pretty much bathing and stuff like that, and I don't know, but I had this fire in my eyes, like this fire that was like anger towards everybody outside the cell. And while I was in the cell, I heard voices, and the Holy Spirit was letting me know, I'm gonna let you know everything that anybody say about you while you in this cell. I'm gonna tell you everything they out there doing, and I'm gonna tell you everything they out there saying. So I was sitting there, and I heard the voices of my two sisters. And I heard some white women. I heard them talking. But I was in the cell. I couldn't hear it all. So when I came out the cell, I snatched this little towel, little white towel, put it around my waist. Came out the cell, and I saw my sisters, Larissa and Shakina. Larissa is my older sister. Shakina is my younger sister. And when I seen them, they was in bed. So my cell was in a bedroom where I was being set up to be killed inside of the jail cell in the segregated housing unit. And then when someone opened up the cell door, I came running out of I came storming out of the cell. And I looked and I saw my two sisters. So there was a bed. There was a bedroom. The cell was in the bedroom. So when I came out the cell, I was standing inside of a bedroom. And there was a bed in this bedroom. My two sisters were in that bed. They were sitting down. And they were talking to women that was in the courts that was trying to prosecute me. The women who were accusing me of child negligence for protecting my son, accusing me of child endangerment for protecting my son, accusing me of dispersing a weapon in a public place for protecting myself and my son, accusing me of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon that was used to protect myself and my son. So these women were trying to turn it around and say that this woman who was protecting herself and her son should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And she's pregnant. So they were in the bed. And my sisters were in the same bed as them. So they were in bed together. The white women from the court were surrounding the edge of the bed. And my two sisters were at the top of the bed. And my little sister was doing a lot of yapping. And I saw this white girl named Tess. Tess was a white girl who lived in the neighborhood that I lived in, Conroe, Texas. There's something special about how I know Tess because I was a single mother raising my son, Melbourne Halo Metter, at 1308 Houston Street, Conroe, Texas, apartment 377-301. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. It was very nice. My son had his own nursery and I had my own room. There was a girl named Jatavia and a guy named Q. I met them. We hung out a couple of times, but nothing serious. They had been to my house seeing, oh, she got a nice house, she take care of her son. You could try to say anything bad about me that you want, but that's one thing that they could not say bad about me. The number one thing that everybody knew was she take care of that baby and she take care of that house. You could try to talk about how I paid my bills and whatever, but that's one thing they couldn't say about me was that I was a bad mother. Nobody could say that. And so Jatavia introduced me to a girl named Tanisha. And I hung out with Tanisha a little bit, and even Tanisha could say the same thing. Andrea take care of her son. Andrea take care of her home. And that baby is her number one. And so I ended up telling Tanisha a little bit about my child father being in prison because my child father, Austin John Meta, a white Caucasian male, he was in prison. And he was going to be getting out after a while. And I was telling Tanisha, he abused me and he's about to get out of prison, and I'm afraid that he's going to come back out of prison and come back into my home abusing me again. And, we talked about it briefly. So Tanisha ended up inviting me to a pool party around the time that my child father got out of prison. But the pool party was for a girl named Tess. I ended up meeting Tess one time, I think before my child father got out of jail. And she was cool people, she had kids by a black man named Patrick. So, she heard a lot about me through the other girls. The other girls either tried to fuck me or their man tried to fuck me, and there was some jealousy that was going along about my looks and, me being very attractive to these men. You know what I said? I just keep it real, So, I declined to have sex with any of their boyfriends or anything, but I still carry myself in a way that, was very attractive to these men. So that caused a lot of tension where even though I wasn't sleeping with none of their boyfriends, it was still jealousy. There was jealousy. To where women felt like, oh, we need to outcast Andrea. Don't let her come around. She a hoe. She this. No, I'm not a hoe. I just attractive to your man. That's what it is. So anyway, the girl test seemed like she was cool. We both got mixed race children. You know, I only had one at the time by my child father, Melbourne. So around the time that my baby daddy was getting out of prison, when he got out, Tess threw a pool party. And Tanisha and then was like, that I could come. I told my baby daddy to come too because I felt like it'd be good for us as a family to go somewhere and, you know, where meet with some of my friends, even though I was just meeting these girls. And just see how it goes. So all of them knew that Andrea was single before he got out of prison. She was taking care of Melbourne by herself before he got out of prison. Through the grapevine, she was afraid to let him come back around because he was abusing her. But show you how white women are. Tess was in the bed in this vision with my two sisters and the women in the course. Now let me tell y'all what they were saying about me. So when I came out of the cell in the vision, like this was one of the first visions that I had in the jail. When I came out of the cell, I see my two sisters right there, Tess and the white women from the course. The white women from the course knew that my child father was abusing me. They done convicted my child father in the same county for drugs, theft, assault, family violence, Class C rape, assault on a public servant, you know, all these charges that they have convicted him for and charged him with. They knew that he was a violent male. They knew they had his TDC record, which they deemed him a threat to public safety, denied him parole. He was in physical altercations. He had substance abuse, alcoholism inside of the prison. They knew he was bad news. But they were still trying to see how they could lie and talk to my sisters and find something else bad about me to say. So, the women in the course said, I was asking my sister stuff about me to try to use against me in this vision. And when I came out in the vision, my little sister said, something about my inheritance money that my mother had left me. She said, yeah, Vanessa said that when she died, she not leaving